Welcome, everybody, to Kings of the North Suupa Tournament. Welcome, everyone. This is the Kings of the North Suupa Tournament, where we have invited 6 players, all starting off with 3 lives. And in order of their seeding, they will choose each other. They'll choose their opponent and challenge them to a best of 3. When a player loses all 3 of their lives, they're out of the tournament. Each player has 1 reflect and can redirect the challenge to another player, but this can only be done once, and you can't reflect a reflected challenge. I'm your host, Reckon, and I am joined in the desk with Endersword and Andy Man. Boys, what do you think of this format?
I think it's going to be pretty good. We haven't seen this type of format for quite a while. A similar thing back when Red Bull did it in like 2013 or 14 or whenever that was. I think it tends to be fun. You get to see players essentially picking on each other, deciding who they're going to fight, what the best strategy is, ganging up on people, things like that, and hopefully a little trash talking.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited. I love a non-traditional tournament format, not the standard bracket. It's going to give these guys just a little bit extra chance to maybe come out on top. Maybe we'll see the underdog win. Who knows? So it's going to be a very fun time. We have 2 Zergs, 2 Protoss, and 2 Terrans all fighting it out. So it should be great. So
why don't we take an opportunity, take a look at which players we have invited. If we can just get the players put up on the screen. We got, hopefully the screen's up. MaSa. Oh, well, I'll just tell you until the screen's up.
Imagine
MaSa.
it in your head.
Imagine, I think everyone can contain this list of 6 people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think. All right. We got MaSa, Jon Snow, Puck, Future, Silky, and Creature. And that's in the order of which the players will pick their opponent. So we got, 2 Terrans, 2 Protoss, 2 Zergs, the right even amount of people and the right even amount of players to see it. And at the top of the list, the strongest is MaSa.
Yeah,
what
we
did we look? All starting off.
Did base this on a Ligulac for our seeding, but it's actually very similar if you do it by MMR or by WCS points. You get almost the same list. So, it should be cool.
Yeah, we at the same time, it pretty much works out to be an even amount of spacing in terms of the players and that, whether you use WCS or you use a Ligulac. But we have MaSa as the strongest. What do we feel is the strategy here for the players, since they can choose who they want to play? What does MaSa do?
So for MaSa to start, I think you've got one of 2 options. One is to just go after the weakest, call out Creature right away, and kind of lay the ground. The risk to that is Creature could always use his deflect right off the bat and direct them to anyone. He could also go with the other strategy of just going after a Jon Snow or a Puck first and try and take out one of his tougher opponents or whichever one he thinks he's going to have the most challenge with and just go head for them, like straight head on. And see how that works out. So there's kind of 2 extremes that you could take it. Go for the easiest, go for the hardest. If you go for the easiest, I think you're going to get deflected anyway, and then it's out of your hands.
Well, and I think we should take into account, too, who might MaSa team with. You might want to work with someone and be like, hey, let's both deflect to this guy or something, try to knock somebody's lives out a little bit sooner. I'm curious to see who MaSa will choose. Will he go for the weakest Gazelle? That's kind of what I'm thinking. The quote unquote weakest. These guys, all very good players, of course. Much better than myself, that's for sure. But should be interesting.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
In terms of like going for the weakest at the bottom is Creature.
And this is all based on Ligulac rankings.
Absolutely.
Yeah, based on Creature, again, based on all 3 of the potential criteria is the lowest ladder MMR, didn't have any WCS points and so on. Still certainly not a slouch of a player at all. He's still worthy of being in the group. But that would probably be, I think, everyone's obvious target here to go after first. So he's got to make, and really all players have to make strategic use of that deflect. And it could seem like the obvious thing to simply deflect anytime MaSa picks you.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, do we have like does creature reflect like first straight off? And if he reflects, who does he reflect to?
I think you'd either go. I think one, if I was in his shoes, I would reflect it straight off. I would probably send him into Puck because MaSa has long professed a weakness for TVP. He just doesn't like playing Protoss, and there may be some interesting things that come out of that, particularly to a late game MaSa's play style against fast Tempest could be interesting to see. There's a lot of patch changes, so we don't know how these games are really going to play out. So I might throw him against the Protoss to see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And I definitely think there's some strategy involved in saving that deflect, though. It might be worth it just to take a life lost at the beginning to save it for a more critical moment later in the tournament where you're like, oh, I've only got one left. If I, go against this guy again, I'm going to definitely go out, or, whatever the case may be. So, I definitely think there will be a little bit of merit in saving it.
Yeah, you could wait till your last life.
Yeah, don't want to use it too quickly, but maybe spend it right away. That could help you out too.
Yeah. In terms of what about Jon Snow being like the second seed? Like, do we reflect him to Jon Snow, or does MaSa even go for to take out the second strongest?
That's it. He may just opt to go for that right away and try and take out Jon Snow, who's been doing better and better recently. He's still going to be, even though we have kind of this seeding, it's interesting too to look into MaSa's match history against these people. The last 2 times he's played Jon Snow, last 2 times he's played Puck, he's won both of those series. However, the last time that he's played Silky, I believe he's lost. So actually, in terms of career totals, the player in this pool that has the best record against MaSa is Silky, who is 7-7 in map score against him. Whereas a Jon Snow, while a lot of this was a long time ago, is like 41-11 in MaSa's favor. So it may be that while that's the ranking in order, that may not be the ranking to the individual player or what they feel their strengths and weaknesses are against everyone.
StarCraft is very circumstantial sometimes. It's very
exactly.
And perfect. I think right now we have MaSa. I think MaSa's in here, but I think he's...
Oh, it's not Cyril? Oh.
He's covertly in here.
Looks a lot like him.
As Cyril. MaSa, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome to the tournament, MaSa. Thank you for joining us.
MaSa. All right. Before we even get to your pick, I want to know what is your before you pick your person, what is your strategy thinking here? You got first seed. What are your two? What's on your mind on what way you go? Do you pick the strongest or the weakest?
We just let him pick.
That's what I'm thinking.
You think the weakest? You're feeling the weakest? All right. Well,
and that's a relative term. These are all players. Let's keep that in mind.
Which in terms of your own terms of skills, are you more afraid of because I look like was it Protoss is his weakest matchup, but him against Silky, who are you most afraid to get picked in this tournament?
I would say Puck has Protoss.
Yeah,
Puck is your.
You always say that. They're weak. They're weak.
All right. Who do you want to pick? Your person. Who do you want to play against?
Dun, 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 drum roll.
I mean, I said I was gonna pick the weakest one.
So who do you?
Oh, not by name. We're bringing him in here.
Yeah.
Who it is? Who is it?
It's gonna be Creature.
Yeah.
All right, Creature, come on in. All right. While we wait for Creature to jump in, why Creature? Is it just because he's weaker, or is there like anything particular around his, like, have you seen any of Creature's games? Are you at all familiar with Creature? Oh, speaking of.
I mean, honestly, I haven't faced any of these guys for a while, so I really don't know the skill difference.
Well, the man of confidence himself has joined us, Creature, daring everybody to choose him.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Creature, MaSa just picked you. What's your
Will you play, or
are you taking it, or are you going to reflect?
No, I want to play. I'm not afraid. I'll play anybody.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping.
Screw it.
Hell yeah.
You're gonna pick me. I'll play you.
All right. So in terms of you know how this works. If creature wins, and you, MaSa, will lose a life, regardless if the fact that you picked it. So, creature, are you afraid that other players are going to just pick on you because you're on the lowest seed? Is that something that you're concerned about?
Not really. I'm just gonna play my matches and see what happens. I think it's better for me though to save my reflect for later on.
Yeah,
and not use it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Strategy.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. If you were to use your reflect, because we had this scenario right now. If you were to use your reflect and send MaSa to fight another player on this list, who would you send MaSa to? Hypothetically.
I'm not sure. Well, I think MaSa is pretty good against anybody on this list. So, if I wanted him to maybe lose, then I guess Silky or Jon Snow. But actually, I don't know how well he does against them. But I know they're two really good Zergs.
All right. That's it. Why don't we get into the game?
We'll get you guys doing vetoes.
We could probably do vetoes right now, couldn't we? Could.
I thought we didn't want to on stream.
No.
It doesn't matter.
It's just earlier, and it got shut down.
All right.
Yeah, we can do it. However,
we can totally do vetoes right now.
I'm down to do it now.
Yeah, let's just do it real quick here.
Let's do vetoes right now.
All right, who starts?
MaSa starts.
MaSa.
Yeah, I start. Shout out to Blizzard for making all these great maps.
Yeah, we're totally doing
that's sarcastic.
We're totally doing vetoes on stream now because of these kind of shoutouts. All right, go
All right, veto Parasite first.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, I veto Stasis. It's a pretty looking map, but it's fucking horrible. Oh, sorry. Am I allowed to curse?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
curse.
that's
I never won in that map just because I can't see shit in that map.
Yeah. And I think we're doing ABBA. So.
Okay, I choose a second.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, second veto is.
Let's see.
Oh no.
I choose the second one.
Not you.
Yeah,
It's
Adams. Adams. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
That weird format.
I'll choose in 5 seconds. I got to think about it.
Right.
I'm excited. Don't choose Kairos Junction. I haven't seen that one yet.
I was actually. I'm gonna veto Kairos Junction.
Pressure my dreams.
Gave him ideas.
I don't like that map.
All right. MaSa last veto.
Wait, what do you mean last veto?
You didn't choose one yet.
What?
I vetoed Stasis and
I thought he said say Kairos Junction.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Stasis, Kairos Junction, and Parasite are vetoed.
Yeah.
So one more.
Huh?
You pick one.
We need one more veto out of you. Yeah. Sorry. I confused things. MaSa, one more veto.
Fort Alexander.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
All right.
Is it ABBA?
Yes.
Yes,
it's
ABBA. Yeah.
Oh, well, I mentioned Fort Alexander earlier. I guess you guys missed it.
Okay,
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I thought it was ABBA.
And then I guess we're doing Victor chooses first map.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So which map do you want to start on?
MaSa chooses first, right?
Oh, yeah. We got to choose first map. That would help.
Blue Shift?
Blue Shift. Okay.
All right, let's do it.
We'll go Cerulean second.
It's a good one. All right. Makes
Shift,
sense.
Cerulean.
Blue Shift, Cerulean, then if needed, Automaton.
Any final parting words for your opponents, gentlemen?
Yeah, now is the time to talk smack if you feel like it.
Yeah, it should be an easy 2-0 for me.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh,
I'm just glad to not automate.
I don't want to break your confidence or anything, so I'll go easy on you if I do lose.
All right, I love it. All right,
Very,
boys.
very sportsmanlike. All right. See you guys.
We'll see you guys in game.
See you. How do I turn this off? Or leave me there?
There we go.
You just closed the window.
And escape from the call.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, there it goes.
All right,
All right,
let's.
there we go. So we do have our predicted scenario, but without the deflection, it is MaSa choosing the perceived weakest player. Let's see if that perception is faulty or not.
I think we're about to
picking
see
creature
stats
here.
too. we can see some stats.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but we won't see it because they are going to be on a delay. But
Yeah.
that's all right.
But I could tell you, so these two have not played that often in like full-on matches. They have played 4 maps, it looks like, so 2 series against each other in the past. MaSa does have a 4-0 record against Creature in tournaments, according to Aligulac at least. We'll see, but that's a small sample size, and I don't think the last one has been all that recent. So,
well, and his versus Terran rate's not too bad. It's just under 50%. So it's definitely in a decent margin. Of course, MaSa's versus Protoss is up at 62.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he hates Protoss. I mean, his
still
overall
is
match rate is
still,
still
yeah.
high. Yeah, his overall thing's quite high. But yeah, exactly. He is now typing in chat over and over, Protoss with the poop emoji logo, and then he's suggesting to his opponent that he can in Russian. So we'll see. We'll see. He's also telling him his initial building placement and so on.
I'd be curious to see if, and because we're on this new meta, if MaSa just does something cheesy, cheesy to start. Start stuff with cheesy.
He certainly could go for just proxy, get it.
And did we mention? I don't know if we mentioned it. What was Aligulac's chance for Creature coming first in this tournament?
His chance for coming first in this tournament was 0.07%.
This is based on a round robin or something.
Yes,
round robin.
Put all the players in, put him out. Yeah. He was definitely down there. Yeah. And then MaSa
was low enough. Something. Yeah, it was low enough that like if Creature was like the Higgs boson, it would almost reach that level of certainty that a scientist could confirm it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I don't know. I'm loving Creature's confidence tonight. I'm great.
Okay, so what does the scenario look like? I think we're about to start the game, but what does the scenario look like if Creature upsets and wins?
Beautiful. Just it's gonna be it's gonna turn this tournament on its head right off the start. Nobody's gonna know what to expect.
Do you think players will jump on MaSa afterwards, or do you think?
Definitely, I think if Creature upsets MaSa, then I think it makes MaSa the target to go after in this. But I also, from talking to people before, if Creature upsets MaSa in this best of 3, David Kim said he was ready to come back and fix whatever happened.
We're about to see history. I'm feeling it. We just saw a foreigner win how many tournaments, and then the first foreigner to win.
Immediately, this SCV going out there.
This is the year of upsets, my friend. I'm ready when you all are.
Immediately, SCV going out, making his way across the map. Whether this is for a proxy or to just check to see that his opponent isn't doing anything cheesy, we'll see. But my bet's on probably a proxy. He's getting pretty straightforward with it though.
Yeah, it's getting aggressive. Do we introduce? Are we doing that?
Oh yeah, probably.
Is that a thing we do here?
I guess it is.
We don't have to.
I got excited by the SCV right away.
In control above it if you didn't.
I know. I tend to resist it. I think Drekken still loves the introductions.
I love them.
He'll do it. Down here on the bottom left-hand corner of Blue Shift, it is indeed the Blue Terran player. He is OSC's MaSa.
And in the top right, the man of confidence himself, our red Protoss player. Let's hear for Storm Gaming's Creature.
And he is checking around for this proxy, which he knows has to be out there, but he doesn't think to check his own natural right off the bat. There is a probe coming down to that natural, and we'll spot it now.
No, he didn't. No, he's going for the base.
Nice. That's unfortunate that he doesn't quite see that. I bet MaSa has planned that out to be just out of range of what the Nexus and a probe would see.
Oh, yeah. Always check behind your mineral line.
Yeah, but he's in the other base anyway, and he knows that there must be something out on the map, as there's obviously no barracks in the main.
Yeah.
Although MaSa will also occasionally we've seen him do this in certain games, where he will proxy it on his own side of the map to hide the fact that it's not proxied. But here comes the first Reaper now. There is a bunker under construction behind the mineral line.
Can that Reaper? I think that Reaper can get in there from the right-hand side.
Yeah, I think.
But the Reaper gets pinned.
Nice
Now
grab.
he can't. Can't if you're dead.
Yeah, we'll end up going down here, and there is a Zealot out. We'll get into a position. Can't quite pick off that SCV yet. The bunker will be canceled before finishing. So, yeah, really fortunate start here for Creature to trap that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely gives him a little bit more time. There is a second Reaper about to pop out here, but yeah, MaSa knows this isn't going to do much more. Brings the barracks back home, and he's just going to try to get a little more scouting, but Stalker should deny that.
Stalker will hold that off. And yeah, we've already got, obviously, the expansion down by Creature here, and obviously nothing started on MaSa's side of things. He is going for the Cyclone follow-up.
Yeah, how do you feel about the new Cyclones? I know everyone's been talking about it a lot, but just in case somebody isn't aware, they did change the Cyclone.
Yeah, essentially changed them back to the way they were, and I felt that they were stronger against Protoss the way that they were in the past. So I think it's definitely good. Yeah, I think it's definitely good for Terran. It depends what you do with them. I guess they have strengths and weaknesses, but I think in this sort of situation of like maybe you're going to poke at the front, I think they're stronger.
Oh yeah. Well, and I love too that any Terran player that brings SCVs along to repair just makes it so much more powerful. So yeah, they're still very viable in most matchups here.
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of a supply block here on MaSa's side. Pretty big one for about 10 seconds. We get the cloak starting, which I expected as a Banshee is going to come out. And we just now have the robotics facility starting on Creature's side, but that should be fine.
Oh yeah, we'll have observers in time. Yeah, I was telling you, Creature is here to win. He's looking great on two bases here, getting both mineral lines saturated, getting those shield batteries for defense, and yeah, once he's able to crank out some Immortals, a couple observers, he'll shut down the Banshees potentially, and be good.
Yeah, he's definitely got the early advantage here. Starting off with that proxy that accomplished essentially nothing is going to play in his favor. And if he can hold this sort of cloak attack, then he's going to be absolute gold. And he's got a fair amount, like 2 Stalkers, 2 Sentries out. And yeah, I think he'll have this Observer out just fine.
Might need to Chrono boost it, but yeah, should get it out okay. Well, let's see. Does he go Immortal first or Observer first? I would imagine Observer in this scenario. Yeah, yes.
Observer. He actually started right before he started a Warp Prism, but thought better of it.
That's a smart move.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the Banshee. Yeah, he actually should know the Banshee's there now. It's in the main mineral line currently.
That's the.
Oh, it's Reaper. Oh, I thought that was the Banshee.
Banshee's a second or 2 off, but the Observer is just about to pop out. Does now.
There. Okay, now the Banshee's in the main. My mistake. I was looking at the main.
We'll end up with a couple kills here at least, but it should be shut down fairly quick. Actually, 4, 5 probes.
Good amount. That's already worth it. To be able to get a few on top.
Even just outright losing the Banshee there was definitely worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be able to retreat from that scenario. So
yeah,
might as well get all you can.
Yeah, and with that, he's actually in the worker lead, which was not the case mere moments ago.
Apparently, I sound like Grubby. I'm assuming you sound because I don't think you sound like Grubby at all.
Mm-hmm. No,
somebody in chat thinks I sound like Grubby. I don't know. Nope, I am not Grubby. I am Andy Man. Hello.
Just pretend. He looks. He's as handsome as Grubby though.
Aw. Another Banshee gonna get a few more kills and actually gets out there. 3 kills and escape, so he's gonna be able to maybe come back in and get a few more. That's definitely gonna be nice.
Cyclone poking on the low ground as the entire army moved up to deal with that. Force field there, almost trapping that Cyclone, but getting out with hit points.
Yeah, should be able to go home and repair that so nicely. But, decent deflect again. He, lost a few probes here, but he could Chrono boost a few more out and be fine. Worker count, he's only down by 5. And he's got upgrades finally coming down, too. He's got that +1, the charge against the combat shield and stim that we're seeing out of MaSa. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be Bio versus charge a lot. I wonder if the Templar Archives should be coming along pretty soon here.
Yeah, he's going to have a closing window if he starts that up. There's 4 more gateways underway, so I think this Protoss is going to do a bit of an all-in attack here pretty soon. Banshee coming in the back again, picking off more workers. Up to
the harass is very good out of MaSa.
Yeah. Yeah, even with the equipment that should have just shut this down, he's combined between these Banshees for 12 worker kills.
Yeah, that's really good. And if he got the Warp Prism, I don't know if you saw that as well.
Yeah.
So that's going to slow Creature down even more, which is unfortunate for him. But yeah, looking good still for both these guys. Definitely a little bit more favorite for MaSa. He's got a bigger army supply. He's up on workers now as another Banshee comes back in. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, now up to a total of 14 kills between those two Banshees and another 4 on that Cyclone. Liberator is also in the back of the main, getting a couple probe kills there as well, but we'll get chased back.
I thought the Stalkers were going to be in range.
Just saved themselves. MaSa will now push out with this army, a number of tanks here. And as you brought up that Warp Prism kill earlier, he's going to have to devote resources back to that. So there's really only one Immortal that's out on the map, and you'd ideally love to have 2 or 3 at this point.
I don't think, did he even remake the Warp Prism? That's going to make these Warp-ins maybe a little tricky. I don't think he even had a Warp Gate on the low ground there, just the shield battery. Oh, he does have one Warp Gate back there, but...
Stimming in. Force fields go, but the Zealot's not in great position. The tank's in the back doing a ton of damage here against the Stalkers, and he can't quite approach that yet with the Immortal.
Yeah, no High Templars with Storm ready either. He's trying to get Blink out, just starting. He will be able to clean up a lot of the bio, but the tank's in the back, still pretty much untouched, and with the Immortal dead, that's going to be GG.
Does tap out there. Good showing. So a slow start there from MaSa. Creature was able to trap that crucial Reaper at the very beginning, get out what he needed, and jump out to a bit of an early lead, but MaSa ultimately catching up with Banshees really just coming in the face of something that should have been able to deal with them, really. There were enough Stalkers out, there was detection, but still ending up with a total of 14 worker kills between 2 Banshees is not what you want to see.
And we saw just how much it slowed down his ability to produce Immortals. Like you're saying, more Immortals would have been great to get Storm out potentially, even just get a couple of Archons. So yeah, really good harass. I think that was really what put MaSa in the lead from that. So, not the best start. He got shut down pretty much right away. It was a beautiful start there for our Protoss, but in the end, nicely played by our Terran there.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what comes out. He was looking for the right things too, although he didn't take damage from it early. He knew that there was going to be a proxy out. He went looking for it. He didn't actually see it in time anyway, but so it didn't ultimately do any damage to him, but he at least had the right mindset of looking for this. It'll be interesting if the Creature tries to take the initiative, actually do something like a cannon rush or a proxy on his own side of things. But if you know that the Terran is going to proxy Reaper, it does kind of limit what you can do too. Ultimately, between a Terran and a Protoss, if the Terran wants the initiative, they have it. There's not a lot you can do about that. So yeah, as long as MaSa decides to stay in the driver's seat, it's kind of hard to get away from that.
All right, cool. Well, we're getting in this lobby, so we'll have game number 2 here in just a moment, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight in night 1 of our Suupa tournament. Quite super start already. I'm very excited for game number 2 here.
Indeed. And so far, everything is shaped up to be here. You can see, obviously, a bit of a skill difference between the 2 players over that, but and MaSa is also the type, he's done this brutally in local tournaments too. If he's playing someone that he thinks is below his skill level, he doesn't play a macro game, he just kills them. In the quickest way possible, he just finishes the game. And if that's 2 Reapers that do it, he'll do it that way.
Indeed. Apparently it's you that sounds like Grubby.
It's me that sounds like Grubby. I
guess I can, if I squint my ears just right, I guess I can maybe.
It makes sense. I usually get Kermit or some sort of autistic Ray Romano.
Yeah, I could hear both those things as well.
Yeah, but I haven't heard Grubby before. I think I lack the accent, but I'll take it as a compliment.
You just gotta talk a little bit thicker, and you'll be all right with that thick accent.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen Grubby playing from a long time. I'm
gonna have to look something up to listen to him.
I think he plays. He's been playing something else recently. More so.
I wonder if he'll come back for some War 3 after they do Reforged.
Ooh, maybe.
It would definitely make sense to do that. I bet he's still quite strong. So we have, following our tradition of introducing players, down here on the bottom left-hand corner of the map, already scouting out with the probe and potentially stopping something. It is our blue Protoss player. He is Creature, Psystorm's Creature, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Psystorm game. And up in the top right with his SCV in the bottom left, trying to do something sneaky. Currently up 1 game, already secured him, or not, I'm sorry, not he. If he wins 1 more, he will secure himself $25. He is MaSa.
And yeah, he did get caught with his hand in the cookie jar there. He actually sent out 2 SCVs, so it looked like he was going for the double barracks proxy. Did get caught and ended up having to make this barracks at home, but he is going to steal that expansion and steal the gas with the remaining SCV.
Oh, that's always a little annoying. As a Protoss, you need that gas. It's so, especially when you're stuck on 1 base.
Mm-hmm. It is a lot of minerals to put into both these buildings this early. He will get it back. Obviously, he'll be able to cancel both these, or most of it back anyway, but it's a bit of an investment.
Probe does not make it out alive. Poor Probe. He's stuck now, but he'll do a little bit of scouting before that Reaper finishes him off. So it'll all be okay.
Refinery is now liberated.
Yeah, did we talk about the prize pool at all? I feel like we didn't yet.
I don't know if we did. Yeah, it's probably a good time to go over that. As you just mentioned, for every best of 3 that the player wins, they will get a bounty of $25. So there's a bit of strategy between whether you want to accept matches against you and win them and potentially lose lives or deflect them. And then ultimately the winner of the overall thing will get an additional $100 worth. So it's actually possible. There is a mathematical way that you could end up finishing second in this tournament and still make more money than the first place person if you just end up playing in a lot of series but win them. Mm-hmm. So could be neat, but that likely won't happen, but it's certainly possible.
Yeah, so I mean, and that also opens up every player here has a chance to at least win some money in this tournament. Just got to win a best of 3. So it might be a little bit easier for some, but it should be close games. I'm feeling it. Creature, his early game is really good. As if he can just hold off any harass, which we're not seeing Banshees, we're not seeing Reapers coming in to kill off probes. If he can just hold off any of that later game harass as well, I think he's going to be in a beautiful spot. He's got observers coming out now. He's got that Robo Bay done, so that's going to help against the Widow Mines that Creature has decided to go for. His builds are on point there.
Exactly. I think it worked out in Creature's favor a little bit that MaSa spent tried to proxy, sent out 2 SCVs to proxy, which obviously already is going to cut his mineral production. The fact that got deflected and then he decided to block the natural and steal the gas is more minerals that went in. So his build ended up getting delayed quite a bit here. So Creature is a lot further ahead than his opponent at this point in terms of teching up. Although MaSa rapidly catching up there.
I'm curious what he's doing. He got a really early Warp Prism, but we don't have any Immortals for that or even a High Templar Archives for Archon drops of any kind. He's just going to go straight. Is he just doing a big Zealot? How many gateways did he get?
He does have the 3 gateways. Yeah, 3 gateways. Nothing else being made out of the Robo yet.
Wait, okay. I thought he just loaded up sentries. I was like, you do this against Terror, not against Terror. What are you doing? But
he might end up in a good position here. So MaSa going for the drilling claws on the factory with Widow Mines coming out. He's got a well-defended front here, but that's not where his opponent is going. Now a Reaper coming in will eventually get pushed off. But as he comes into the back here,
there's nothing here to defend.
Yeah, and three more Stalkers if they can come in. This is no joke, and he's going right for the tech lab.
Smart move. Going to be able to deny that drilling clause. That's a big upgrade now for the Widow Mines. Going to be able to start targeting them down. Get out of there.
Yeah. Did only get 4 stalkers here, though. He will pick some of these up. Nice.
That was beautiful. Able to bait the mine shot onto most of those Marines there. Leaves them so weak, the stalkers are able to clean the rest up with pretty much relative ease.
Nice swap to the adept here, too.
He's doing it. He's doing it, Endersword.
He's making this work, getting a lot of work done. Down 12 workers have died to this. Medevac definitely helping out. 1 stalker goes down to a single SCV.
The Widow Mines do get into a good spot. They target the Warp Prism, but actually the Warp Prism gets out of range just in time. And then the mines will go off on the adepts there. Wow.
Ends up whipping here again. Pretty good Warp Prism micro here overall. As the adepts definitely putting in work. 1 Widow Mine falling. The
Liberator will be uncontested.
Keeping him alive. Yeah.
He's still killing SCVs, though. He just has to dodge the Liberation Zone. That's not too hard to do with the Depths. They are pretty quick on
the Warp in here will take a bunch of hits. He does pick up the damaged Stalker. Will dump them in behind here. There's so many workers going down. 31 have gone down here. Creature is potentially going to be pulling this off. MaSa may stabilize here at some point, but there's so much damage that's been done. It's going to be hard to hold off a follow-up to this.
Terran is known as the comeback race, though.
There goes the Warp Prism. There are only the 3 stalkers left on the ground. 2 now. 35 SCVs have died. The tank will ultimately clean this up. Will he get one more? One more SCV out of this?
Go for it.
He's going to get the last one. Bam. It does die. 13 workers.
38 SCVs are dead after all is said and done. 7 minutes into the game, worker count 43 to 15 in Creature's favor. Yes, Terran is the comeback race, but how do you come back from this?
I guess by having the balls to see that happen and just say, I'm going to make a command center, which is exactly what he's doing. If this follow-up push from Creature takes too long, then there's definitely a threat that he can just kind of macro his way out of this, but this is quite the deficit. 19 workers to 44. Creature, I think, wisely taking his own third. He's already got +1 attack, getting +1 armor as well. He is adding on 5 gateways, which have just finished. Warp Prism is out, and he's going to move the army across. I think this is really good decision making here, following it up from Creature. He's not going to give him time to breathe.
Yeah, that's great. And he's getting all those essential gateway army upgrades. He's going for a more gateway-centric army here. Not a lot of Colossus or Archons or anything. Just a lot of Zealots, Stalkers. 1 Immortal there to supplement the army. Widow Mines, though, going off into the mineral lines there. 7 workers going down as revenge.
Yeah, definitely. Liberator also poking in. He's going to move to the 3rd base and try there instead. Actually, he's just going to drift past it or not deploy. They drop into the main again here. Some Zealots running directly into Widow Mines, but doing decent work here.
They're just the distraction. The main attack coming up the front as well. A big pack of Zealots looking for more worker kills. And this is a pretty measly army out of MaSa right now. And a beautiful force field seals them up against the Zealots and will seal their fate.
This will get cleaned up here. A tank dying, though. Widow Mine will get down.
Look at that warping.
GG. Yeah, creature carrying that one. Definitely has got to make MaSa a bit nervous now. He can't just kind of meme on him and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, MaSa was feeling pretty confident, but Creature's feeling more.
Yep. Creature, I think, recognizing the type of game that he has to play, he has to kind of sniff out what MaSa's going to do, shut it down, and and then his Warp Prism play there in the back, I think he had really good decision making with it too, on when to switch to Adepts, and then when to switch back to Stalkers. Yeah, I think that was pretty good. He definitely executed. And then once he had done a lot of that damage, the way that he attacked back in, he didn't just kind of move across the map and attack the front by doing, again, a split push, picking up his Immortal, going with Immortal and Zealots into the main, pulled the army away so that he could destroy the bunker, et cetera, et cetera. So I think just really good execution there by Creature.
Yeah, very good micro overall. Like you had said in the game, just his Warp Prism micro was really good. And pulled him through. He brought the game into his court and kept it there. And that's kind of what you have to do when you're up against somebody who's, quote unquote, better than you in this regard. Ligulek says so. But he did a very good job of just controlling it through the whole thing there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he definitely took advantage of what MaSa was trying to do. Like some of the stuff like early drilling claws for the Widowmine cloak, since he was able to shut that down so quick, worked out so well. Like given the lack of success of the proxy, MaSa then did something that was still pretty aggressive and stylish afterwards. That
you could call it a little greedy.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't quite warranted from it. Even then, once he shut down this whole expansion or shut down the whole attack where he lost so many workers, his first instinct was to build his third command center. And, you could say that maybe he didn't have the ability to do that right away, that he needed to invest that elsewhere. But there we go. Either way, we are on game 3 here on Automaton. And over here, in the awkwardly positioned, no longer like top left-hand corner, but top right-hand middle 2 o'clock position. It is our blue Protoss player representing Psystorm and making a series out of this one to start. It is Creature.
And in the bottom left, the 8 o'clock position, middle left position. Yeah, we'll call it the 8 o'clock position. And now in the middle of the map as well, again, attempting a proxy. This man is just loving his proxies tonight. Give it up for your red Terran player, MaSa.
Yeah, and he gets caught with this right away. The SCV does actually die. Will he outright cancel this? At the moment he got spotted, he actually canceled his second gas in the main and switched to building a barracks in the main as well. So I think he knows that this may be just straight up dead. Creature, not even underestimating this, sends out 3 probes to kill
this. Look at that spread.
because he anticipates exactly what MaSa is doing, sending out this SCV to try and suicide finish this. But with 3 probes there, it's unlikely that he's going to get this done.
Yeah, when we said he spread them out very nicely, so wherever the SCV goes, he should have a probe available to poke it and finish off. But the SCV is just actually going for a scout.
Yeah, he's not even going to attempt this. See if he goes for any sort of block, but there's already a probe there. So, I think both players doing the right thing. MaSa, as a response to this, finally does cancel it. But I love that Creature didn't underestimate that and just leave it to like 1 probe. He sent it out to make sure that thing died instead of getting finished by the other SCV.
Well, we've got more production coming down for our Terran here. As you can see, the factory getting close to finish up. A command center just gets plopped down as well. That will just be the second base going towards the natural position there very soon. Pretty standard here back at home. You realize, that cheese failed, or the proxy failed rather, and he's got to do something maybe a little bit more traditional because Creature's bringing his A game tonight. Yeah,
he really is, and he's even looking around with this Zealot just to see that there's nothing else out there. A Stalker as well, kind of on a path looking for anything else that might exist.
A little bit supply blocked, though, is Creature. He's trying to get out of Pylon right now. He's 1 supply short of getting whatever he's trying to get out of that gateway there.
Indeed. It will throw down 2 more gateways behind it as well.
And the Stargate.
Yeah.
Where's he going with the Stargate? We've seen Robo play in the first 2 games, so there's the first Phoenix, I guess. Is he doing a Roddy build?
Maybe is. I think this is smart, knowing that the traditional play follow-up to this from MaSa would either be Widowmine drops or going right into Cloak Banshee. So getting the Phoenix out kind of makes a lot of sense. In this case, it is Widowmines that are going to come, but there's also a Cyclone out there.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Phoenix can work out pretty well against Terran. I personally am very bad with it myself, but I don't know. It all depends. How much anti-air the Terran gets. Is he able to get enough Vikings out to keep the Phoenix at bay? Will the Phoenix just kill the Widowmines outright in the medevacs? It's a lot of circumstantial things.
Sees the Cyclone now. He could just pick this up and get some free damage, but Stalker coming in. Yeah, Stucker coming in to take this off. He'll be able to kill it.
Yeah, in small numbers, Phoenix excel. Against small numbers, Phoenix definitely excel. They can just disable the important units. The rest of the army can clean things up. We see it really good against tanks. Obviously the Phoenix fly in, sacrifice themselves a little to lift all the tanks while the ground army comes in. So yeah, they can be very viable against Terran. Phoenix. Oh, they're going to be able to delay some buildings too.
Yeah, nice pickups there. Not great, obviously, against the Marines. They will move back out. They are a bit out of position as the Widow Mines are going to try and drop into the main. But he's got a shield battery down. No cannon, though.
It's looking like Mass Phoenix.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. And again, delaying buildings a bit more. Good kill count here, but huge Widow Mine hits in the main of Creature as well. 13 probes going down there. That's a huge setback to a good start.
Yeah, it was looking really good there. That's going to slow him down.
Yeah, and all of a sudden swinging a worker advantage back into MaSa's favor. Don't know who Sarah's talking to, but it doesn't matter. No one else can hear him but us. It's all right. So yeah, Marines coming out here. Also, so Widow Mines in the main as well. Here, Widow Mines kind of getting caught. Will be baited out by a probe or two.
Sacrifices must be made. The Phoenix will be able to finish off the medevac. So this time it was nicely held.
We'll go for the pickup. Yeah, 3 probes lost in that subsequent attack. He does leave. Okay, I was going to say if he left the one Widow Mine, that would be weird, but he will clean it up. Still a decent number of Phoenix being 5, but it's certainly nothing that can kind of dive in and engage the Terran really on his own territory.
The Mass Phoenix, I thought it would be.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of got pulled away from that strategy a little bit.
Yeah.
Widow Mines being deployed in kind of unusual, maybe unexpected locations in the Terran base as well. There is a turret at the natural, but it's almost, adding a turret to the main here too. He's still going to go with these drops.
He's trying to even it up. He's gotten 7 SCVs in total so far. That's not
it's not bad at all. Yeah, he's keeping it within a couple. The thing will be, can these fight at all when MaSa is ready for an actual push out?
Looks like that's now.
Yeah. Picking up two low Marines and another SCV as they try and join their friends. But yeah, it is push out time, and these Phoenix definitely are not the thing you want to actually stand there and fight against Marines. I think he realizes what's happening, and the Phoenix are coming all the way back. Widow Mines burrowed in the back of the natural here.
This might be a little too much. Colossus are trying to come out too, but it's a little too late for that.
Yeah, pure Marine here. Not even combat shield Marines.
Look at all you might as well use the probes to fight. They can't mine right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got actually a really decent army. If he can get a good Guardian shield off. MaSa did not feel it. He was not feeling good about that.
We'll go back. He's pretty squishy. I think with the probes fighting, there's 2 shield batteries up front, which are not going to be great. That's pretty good at holding Marine damage. You'd have to chew through a lot there. So I think he's right to back out. I think he's also made the correct assessment that this isn't a panic or anything. While I start it down in workers, he must realize he has the lead now, and there's no real hurry here. But he's coming out with a lot more, this time with Marauders with him.
It's going to give Creature the time to get at least 1 Colossus out. Maybe not range just yet, but it looks like he's going to rally up just a few more units. I don't know if this many more units is really going to do that much of a difference, though. He's got a little trail coming behind this, but he missed his opportunity. Right when Stim finished, he was pretty much there, and he could have maybe dove it on, picked off the sentries or something like that, done a little bit of damage. But it's given Creature a little bit more time here, and let's see if he's got enough to defend.
Yeah, he's going to poke in here, but I don't think this is the committed attack yet. He will go after the shield batteries with back out. He's trying to bait him in to these Widows.
Big Daddy Colossus is here, though.
Yeah, good engagement here so far for Creature. We'll be able to pull that back, and the shield battery's doing great work to hold.
Just in time. The Colossus joins the fray here. Soccer's going to get a little aggressive. We'll lose 1 with that blank 2 fall. but he's able to clean up a lot more of that bio. So all in all, a beautifully timed hold there from Creature. Like just the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, but his main.
Yeah, his main getting a little shreked at the moment with the escape plan medevac does go down.
I think he only lost one probe there, though, and one stalker. I think that was it.
Yeah, I think so, but he's also been just behind in actually building. I mean, he's still got full saturation on 2 bases, but his third, he's fallen behind on 42 workers to 61 by MaSa, who's now floating his CC over to the third. So,
and I'm surprised we haven't seen Vikings start. It was still just medevacs being produced, and there's another one. So I get he's just not phased at all by the Colossus.
Yeah,
doesn't even care. He's like, I'll just build more Marauders.
Yeah, I think he's just thinking he could jump on it, and there's not really a lot of Phoenix out still. So yeah, he may actually. There's only one left, so it's not going to get a whole lot done.
Man, what an ace match, though.
Traditional, yeah.
This has been
definitely
great.
Not the series I don't think that MaSa was expecting to play. This is a lot closer.
No, and I'm sure a lot of people, we talked about, MaSa's on the top of the list. Creature was on the bottom. There's definitely a little bit of discrepancy there. So I'm sure a lot of people thought this was going to be just a one-sided. But Creature, again, bringing his A game, giving us a show. But
that's his Twilight Council and upgrade here. That's going to be a big setback. He will get Zealot speed here as well as the +1. Now depowering everything too. He could jump on these Colossi as well, which came basically without the rest of the army due to their cliff walking abilities.
Ooh, the bio trying to avoid it all, though. 3 Colossus ain't nothing to mess with.
Yeah, it's still a lot. Still a lot to deal with. He's done his damage. We'll get out. Going after the third base here, which is also unprotected at the moment. Taking the shield battery down, just getting some work done.
He's faster with those stim bio units. The Colossus just can't keep up. One force field tries to go down to create some sort of an obstacle, but just doesn't really do much in the end. Oh, here comes another drop.
Stalker's waiting for these too, and they get some medevac damage, but once the army has actually landed, that is a lot to deal with. Oh, the Manor Mule's coming down as well, saying, get the hell out of my series.
Yeah, but, 99 army supply to 27, that'll do it.
Yeah, but definitely a good showing by Creature, putting up some fight here. And maybe that will make some of the other players think twice about trying to pick on him.
Yeah,
that was certainly not easy. If you just told people these guys' MMRs are about 1,000 apart. We've got like a 6,500 to a 5,500 approximately. And yeah, that's not what you would generally expect. So Creature performing really well in this and just really playing the meta of MaSa. Like he knew what to expect. He knew to be really aggressive in getting out, preventing it. And he knew how to kind of counterpunch to that. And just quite well done there. But ultimately MaSa taking the series and gets on the board first with $25. And Creature, of course, losing his first life and will be the first person to do so.